Welcome to Let's Talk Brock.
Okay, well, welcome to this episode of Let's Talk Brock podcast. Today we are joined by Lauren, a fourth-year concurrent education student from Burlington. Lauren is currently a Brock ambassador for the university. Thanks for joining us today, Lauren.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so exciting.
Yes, definitely. We're so excited to ask you all our questions. So with that being said, we'll hop right into it. What made you choose Brock, and how did you decide on the concurrent education program?
Okay, so this was completely because of my returning year that I did in high school. All the way throughout high school, I had intentions of actually pursuing science and environmental science. I had no intentions of going into teaching, believe it or not. But I had to do a fifth year at my high school, and that's when I had to take math. I had to take advanced functions and calculus. I had the most amazing math teachers I've ever had. They were so amazing, so much that they literally, it's cliche to say that they inspired me to become a math teacher, because math is just one of those things that all students hate. No one enjoys it, but he was able to really change math for me and make me really fall in love with it. And I hope to be that difference for other students as well, because again, I know a lot of students struggle with it, and I really don't want them to struggle like most do. So that was completely a spontaneous decision in my fifth year of high school, but I'm enjoying it so much. I do want to teach high school math, and then my second teachable is physics. I kind of rolled upon that a little late in the game. I went into Brock with my second teachable being French. That didn't work out. I never took French in high school. We won't get into that. But I had to change it to something, and my academic advisor was like, "Do you want to do physics?" And I said, "I've never taken physics in high school, but we'll give it a go." She had a lot of faith in me because I was in math. Physics is basically math, right? So that was another completely spontaneous decision to take physics. I had no idea if I was going to do well in it or not. But yeah, that's how I stumbled upon concurrent, intermediate, senior math and physics.
Wow, those are some tough subjects, and it's cool to hear that you weren't entirely sure, but you found what you liked and found your little niche. So, what would you say to students who aren't entirely sure of what teachable subject or what to do? Do you have any advice for that?
It's funny because I think most people coming into Brock, especially for intermediate senior, it seems as though whenever I talk to even people on the tours, and I've done the live chat, everyone knows what first teachable they want, but they're unsure about the second teachable. It's funny, people know what that one subject that they love and that they want to teach, and I think most people do have that. It's just that second teachable that people have struggles with. And again, I try to reiterate to people, just pick a teachable that you think you will like. The Con Ed program is so incredibly flexible. It goes to show I started physics in third year. I started halfway through my undergrad, and I'm on track of graduating. I'm completely on track, and that is what's really nice about the Con Ed program is how it is flexible. So I wouldn't fret too much about that teachable. Just have an idea, and then you can go with the flow. But definitely not a very big issue. There's lots of room to change.
Yeah, that's definitely great to hear for all our prospective students. That's awesome. So what does a typical week for you look like as a Brock student?
Math. I'm not gonna lie, math every day. For elite at 9:30 a.m. or 10 a.m. At intermediate senior first teachable, you'll be taking a lot of classes in that first teachable. So I do a lot of math throughout the week. Every morning, I come home, I eat lunch. I normally have night classes too. I'll have a morning math class and then maybe a night education or math class. I did, not right now, obviously, because of COVID, but I used to do a lot of intramurals. And so that was always maybe twice a week at night whenever I wasn't doing math. So that was just a really nice way to kind of wind down and just take a break away from studying for sure. I really enjoyed those times of the week with doing intramurals. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. And then I study until 3 a.m., even though I do not want to admit it, but that is when I am the most productive. And if I'm getting the work done, then I don't really care. But
Fair
yeah.
enough. No, that's funny. Everyone has their time, so it's okay. I get it. And then with COVID, how has that impacted your student life?
Yeah, COVID, obviously, I think we're all on the same page when it comes to COVID. I do wake up. I do study. I do try to study during the day. I try my best, but my attention spans just sometimes cannot, and I just have to do it 2 or 3 in the morning. So unfortunately, I do wake up a little bit later. I give a tour. That's definitely one of my favorite parts of the week is giving tours to students. That's what gets me motivated for sure throughout the week. But yeah, I kind of just wake up, do some homework, and then just chill. My mom's been home, so I've been getting to spend some time with her. But yeah, not too exciting. I think we're all in the same boat when it comes to COVID and online school.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's really cool that you still have the opportunity to work for Brock and be an ambassador. That's awesome. So our next question is, what was your biggest fear coming into university, and how did you overcome that? Big
Okay.
question.
So a little bit. I think the main one that everyone I think has is honestly making friends. As you know, generic as that sounds, since I did an extra year in high school, I did year 5, so I didn't know anyone coming into first year. All my friends, I knew second years, but I didn't know any first years. All my friends had already gone off to university, so I knew absolutely no one going into Brock in my first year. But I did I remember my sister saying, just remember everyone wants friends that first week. Just remember that. Do not be shy to ask someone like go to dinner. Do not be shy to go up to someone like in your residence and like say hi, I'm Lauren or like whatever, right? Just make sure that everyone's in the same boat. Everyone wants to make friends and don't be shy and just be, open, right? So I think that's how I definitely overcame it was that voice in the back of my head and I didn't let go. I didn't hold back. I definitely made some of like my friends still today, or some of my first year friends, or some of my best friends today for sure.
That's awesome. That's really, really great advice for all our incoming students. So then would you say, what do you wish someone had told you in high school to prepare for post-secondary then? What's one piece of advice?
Um, I don't want to say this because everyone says this, but get involved. I don't, but that doesn't just mean clubs and like I don't mean that. Like I mean like intramurals, use the services Brock offers. Since I am in math and physics, I cannot write an essay to save my life. I cannot write a multiple choice exams. My brain just doesn't work that way. I can write out as many proofs as you want, but I cannot do those sorts of things. So A to Z learning, doing those workshops. Even I did kind of get myself involved in my first year with like Residence Action Council and becoming an RTA. But get involved, even do an exchange. Tricia, I know you did an exchange, and I wish that I wish I did that. I wish someone told me to do an exchange and go abroad and kind of do your take your degree to the next level. So that is lots of things, but definitely get involved and do exchanges because that seems like a lot of fun.
So just do everything.
Everything.
Everything. No, that's great. But even with you talking about your residence experience, I want to touch a little bit on that. So, what is one opportunity you have had while studying at Brock that you never thought was possible in high school?
um, I think it's like funny because so many people like when you go into university, it is so much bigger than high school, right? So many more people. You really do feel like you're one in a million when you're at school. And so when you go in, you kind of go into that with that mentality, like my profs aren't going to know me, like, they're not going to know me by my first name. But little did I know that that was possible. I didn't know you could become close with your profs and your TAs. I don't know if this may have stemmed from my friends and my sister going to larger schools, but I think that's why the size of Brock is so perfect, because you can become on a first name basis with your profs in any class. Keep in mind, you do need to go to your professor's office hours just to show your face, talk to them maybe after class. But regardless, it's not impossible. You can definitely become on that first name basis with your professor, even in a 400 student class. It's doable. I even my TAs, I'm still contacting my TAs, even from past terms, like past years, for help on assignments that I have now. So it is doable. You can become close with your profs for sure.
No, that's great. And just hearing how involved you've gotten, like that's just so important as a student to be able to know how to do that. Can you talk a little bit about your residence experience and working as an RTA?
Yeah, that was oh my gosh, being an RTA. So just to give you some perspective, I actually showed my residence room on campus tours. So that was really exciting. I love talking to those prospective students because I was just them. I was literally just them touring Brock. I was just them trying to pick a school to go to. And I just love talking about Brock to those students. I love showing my residence room. What definitely my favorite parts of the times of the week, I definitely took every opportunity I could to show my residence room. So much so that the tour guides actually sort of let me do the tour of ERP. They let me talk about the things that they would have talked about while being in residence. So that was really fun. And then I was also part of the Residence Action Council, and that was also a lot of fun. So we got a couple of representatives from each floor, and we met a couple times a month, I think, and we just kind of talked about different facilities that could be improved within the residences, what food we'd like to eat in the residence dining halls. There was something that we were able to change. I can't remember what we added to the menu. I think it was like nachos or something. But we were able to add something to the menu, and we also planned activities for the residents. So even like this holidays just passed, so we had like a gingerbread making contest between all of the floors, and that's something that we organized through the Residence Action Council. But yeah, that is two of the ways that prospective students can get involved in residence. And keep in mind, it is not a very far walk from your residence room down to the first floor of your building. So that is another great reason to get involved.
No, that's great. Such a cool opportunity. But just for our last question of the day, what is your current career path and how did you decide on that?
Well, currently, obviously, I'm a Brock ambassador. I definitely would like to keep doing this until I graduate Teachers College. But I'm also trying to get as much experience with students as possible, or experience with kids, because that is the dream, to teach grade 12 calculus. That is the dream. So I do want to get there, and I do want to get that experience working with kids just to help me prepare for even my Teachers College experience. I've been working camps for the past couple of summers just to get sort of that introduction into Teachers College and working with students. But yeah, I am working towards gaining all relevant skills for teaching grade 12 math. That is the dream, grade 12 math and even grade 9 math. Grade 8 and grade 9 math, because that jump between grade 8 and grade 9 math is massive. I am aware of that. I struggled with grade 8 math, I struggled with grade 9 math because I just don't think I was prepared enough in grade 8 math to make that huge academic transition. And so I really do hope that I can, if I'm not doing grade 12 calculus, then I can hopefully ease that transition for those students in mathematics.
Yeah, that's so great. I definitely attest to that being a very difficult transition. So we wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your Brock experience.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. I love talking about Brock. I love it.
Yes. Bye, Lauren.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, you can contact us by email at futurestudent@brocku.ca.